Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the top 0.1% Google Ads shopping strategy that's available on the market. Today, I will be showing you over the shoulder and in this presentation itself how the top brands in the world set up their Google Shopping ads, how you can now set up your Google Shopping ads so that you dominate the competition, you dominate the page, you control and take the driver's seat of your Google Shopping ads. It is one of the most important ads that you can run for your business, and if you do it right, you can absolutely add in 5 figures a month to your current revenue stream. So let's just go right into it. So what is the key problem with Google Shopping ads? Well, if you were to set it up with no strategy, so what is the key problem with Google Shopping ads? Well, if you just set it up with no true strategy in mind, you have no way to control what keywords go into your shopping ads. You have no way to control the bids that go to your shopping ads. And with this proving strategy that I'm going to show you today, you're going to be able to take control of your Google Shopping ads. So here's the solution to that problem. It's an 11-step guide. 1, we're going to go over the Google ad terms, why you should be running Google ads in the first place. We're going to break down the 2 types of campaigns that you will set up later in this tutorial. We're going to break down the negative keyword list and what that means. We're going to show you a visual funnel of the whole entire strategy itself, the different types of device bidding that you should be adjusting, a common Q&A that is received for the strategy, key takeaways, a success checklist, and an over-the-shoulder setup. And if you stick around long enough, I'll show you a bonus video on how we were able to help multiple brands scale and add another high 5 figures worth of income to their revenue streams and business. So the example that I will be using throughout the whole presentation will be Nike. Okay, we're just going to use Nike as the brand. Think about their products, what they sell, what they stand for. This is the best way I think I can help paint a picture on what the strategy really is. So some simple Google Ads terms. We're going to have a generic campaign, which is just going to be super generic words. It's not going to have any brand in front of it. It's just going to be regular words, for lack of a better term, just naked, and then we have branded campaign, which will include your branded terms plus the generic terms. So going back to the example, instead of shirt, we'll have Nike shirt, Nike pants, Nike sweater, Nike socks. You get the point. It's all branded search terms, right? Each ad group resides within a campaign, and each product type of the ad that you want to launch will be within the ad group. So if you own a clothing line, right, and you sell, let's say, socks, shoes, and shirts, these will all be within the ad group categories. And then it trickles down to product groups. So you have campaign, ad group, product group, right? It's like 1, 2, 3. That's kind of how it falls. And then CPC just means cost per click, which will be referenced a lot today. So why should you be running Google Ads in the first place? Well, the biggest thing that I love talking about Google Ads is that people are searching for you and your product versus you trying to get your product and brand forcefully in front of them with like Facebook ads or TikTok ads. Now, that's not bad. It's just different, right? Whenever people are searching for your brand or product on Google, they're already warm leads because they want to find you. 90% of all searches in the world happen through Google. So if someone is searching for something and it just so happens to be your brand, more likely than not, they'll find you through Google. Okay. Now, Google is also really cool because we're able to compete with anybody in the market. It's kind of hard to do that with Facebook, TikTok, Google. It's very straightforward. You can see who's dominating the page, and you can see how you can dominate the page. And we'll go over several ways on how to do that today, right? The biggest way on how to dominate the first page is having all types of ads and your organic search on the first page. So if I'm Nike, I want to have all shopping ads flooded on my page. When someone searches up Nike or shirts or anything of that matter, like athletic wear, I want to have text ads running so it constantly floods the page with more of my brand, more of my products. And I also want to make sure my SEO and organic search is on that first page as well. So here's the campaign theory of the whole entire strategy. There's going to be 2 campaigns. They're going to be the exact same setup. They have to have the same exact amount of products within each of them, the same exact products. And for the generic, this is going to be your top of the funnel. It's going to be a high priority campaign, which you set up in the Google campaign setup. Your generic searches are going to be cold traffic, right? This is essentially just people who are searching for a similar product that you're selling, and they just so happen to stumble upon you. We're going to aim for smaller bids because they're less quality, of let's say 30 cents to 50 cents. You can even go lower. It really depends on the market that you're in, okay? So generic is going to be our low quality traffic, our cold top of the funnel traffic. Branded is going to be our medium priority in the setup, which is super important. It's going to be the middle and the bottom of the funnel. And branded searches are warm and hot traffic. These are the type of people that are searching for you. They're searching for your brand, and we're going to bid a little bit higher for them. We're going to try to win them over because they're quality. They want to find us. We just have to help them find us, right? And to get branded keywords to pass over the generic campaign and into the branded campaign, we need to adjust the campaign priority and create negative keyword list, which is why I have high priority under generic and medium priority over branded. And we'll go over the keyword lists now. So we're going to have 2 negative keyword lists, and both are going to be super important for this strategy to work. So the first one, I like to call it the debris keyword list. These are going to be words that we don't ever want to show up for in searches. This is something that is not aligned to our products or brand. This is when people search up something not correlated to your brand. So if we're using the example of Nike, as mentioned earlier, we're going to see that, okay, we don't want to show up for computers, right? That's not our niche. We don't want to be considered cheap, used, right? We don't want watches to show up, inexpensive, anything that, like, none of these words have buying intent, right? And they're also not correlated to our brand, so we don't want to show up for them. So this is the debris keyword list, and this is going to be applied to both of the campaigns, the generic campaign and the branded campaign. Next, we have the branded keyword list. Now, this is going to be very important. This is going to only apply to the generic campaign. These are words that we're trying to show up for. So in this branded keyword list, you're going to put your brand. You're going to put your brand plus the products that you sell, your brand plus the product names that you sell, right? So it's going to be hyper focused on things that we do want to show up for when people are searching for us, right? So Nike, Nike shoes, Nike sweater, Nike Vaporfly. Notice how different this is if there was no Nike in front of it, right? Just shoes, sweater, Vaporfly, free runs. That's okay, but it's still not very specific, right? So super important having these 2 keyword lists. This is the funnel setup. We have people searching Google for products, right? So this is the very top of the funnel. People are just going to be searching for products. Maybe they don't know exactly what they're searching for. They're trying to get an idea through Google, and they're just going to Google to figure out where they're going to buy from, right? So in comes our generic campaign. Now, these are lower bids, lower quality. These kind of go hand in hand. People are searching for products, and the generic campaign kind of matches up for this. This is where people have a very small ability to find us, right? They're searching for things, let's say clothing, for shirts, pants. We can say maybe athletic pants, athletic shirts, workout shirts, running sweater, right? I'm just thinking of things that correlate with Nike that people aren't really searching specifically Nike for, right? This will be high priority in the campaign setup, but for the most part, these are low bids. These are low quality. People are just trying to figure out what they have to buy and from who. So in the middle and the bottom of the funnel, right, we're going past the middle here. We have the branded campaign, which is the second campaign. And people are searching for us in this type of campaign, right? These are ways that we want to show up for higher bids, higher quality, and in the campaign setup, this is a medium priority. So to break it down, we have all of these generic words up here that they're kind of bland. People are trying to find us, but they can't. We want to hopefully get them to get to this point. So Nike shirt, Nike pants, Nike sweater, Nike socks. This is a very base foundational description on what the words would be like. We can even take it one step further and say something like Nike athletic shirt, Nike athletic pants, right? Nike athletic sweater. Whatever it is that you're selling, right? Let's say you're a clothing line. We don't even have to use Nike, but let's say you're brand X, okay? Well, what type of clothing do you sell? Do you sell casual clothing? Do you sell athletic clothing? Do you sell graphic clothing, right? Whatever it is, really leverage those words to your advantage and have your brand name be put in front of it. So if it's just really cool graphic shirts, we'll put your brand name and then put whatever that graphic shirt is, right? Inside of the keyword, in the branded keyword list. And if you look on the left-hand side here, it says the branded keyword list will be applied only to the generic campaign, right? The branded keyword list will contain all of the words that we want to show up for. And it could be a little bit counterintuitive, like why would the branded keyword list be applied to the generic campaign? Why wouldn't it be applied to the branded campaign? Well, I'll explain that momentarily. So, real quick, this is just a rundown on device bidding. Once you have everything launched, all your campaigns launched, you're going to want to adjust the device bids because this is very important, and you know your business the best. What do people buy from the most? Is it phones? Is it computers? Just from my experience, phone clicks are generally cheaper, but also classified as lower quality, right? You'll get more of them. That doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be that much better. In my experience, if you're shopping on a computer, you're a much more serious buyer. You're kind of, already looking to buy versus on your phone, you're probably just browsing through. A good way to start the bids would be plus 30% for mobile phones, minus 50% for computers. What does this mean? So if we look over here, I have it set up computers minus 50%, phones plus 30%, right? So if we increase 30%, that means that what would be a $10 bid, if someone is trying to outbid us, we're giving Google the authority to increase it to up to $13, right? Because we want to outbid any competitor. If there's a bid out there that's not necessarily $10, but we're able to get it for cheaper, we want to be able to do that through the decrease of 50%. Let's say these are like lower quality bids, but we still want to win over that click. We would decrease it by 50%. Now, why do I have only increase for mobile phones and decrease for computers? In this case, if you're selling, let's say, a shirt or something of that nature, there's a lot of competitors. You probably want to give yourself the best shot at winning. That's why we're increasing it here. Computers, there's probably less people going on them, less searches through the computer, a lot more through the phone. So we're going to decrease this. Okay, common Q&As. So how will I know if this strategy is working for me? Well, your branding campaign will spend a lot more than the generic campaign. And how will you know this? Well, we are going to be using a shared budget, okay? So in the over-the-shoulder setup, you're going to see a $50 shared budget. Ideally, we would want, let's say, $35 to $45 to go towards the branded campaign spend, and then $5 to $10 to go to the generic campaign spend. Remember, on the generic campaign, we have bids set from around 30 cents to 50 cents. And on the branded campaign, we have bids set from $1 to $2 to $3, right? So you definitely want to make sure your branded campaign is outspending the generic. How can I get my branded campaign to spend more? So a lot of times your generic campaign will be spending just as much as the branded, if not more. If this ever happens, right, you have to increase the bids on the branded campaign, and you have to decrease the bids on your generic campaign. And this way, you're going to have the branded campaign spend more and have the generic campaign spend less. We want this to happen because generic campaign is lower quality clicks, okay? Branded is higher. So where do I control my bids from? You're going to control your bids from the product group level, and I'll show you how to do that as well. What should I start my bids at? Very common question. This is also, I hate to say it, but it's a very common answer. It depends on your market competition. If you have no competition in your market, you can set your branded bids at $1 and just absolutely crush, right? Like no one will be competing with you if there's no competition. You kind of got first movers advantage. If there is a lot of competition, you're likely going to have to spend a little bit higher. This can range from $2 to $4 to $5. I've even seen it go up to $20. Now, that's insane, right? Like, why would I spend $20 for one click? It really comes down to what you're selling and how much competition is there in the field. You're going to want to start generic bids at about like 30 cents, I would say. And the last question is, how do keyword lists work? Well, we have a debris keyword list, which I mentioned earlier. These are words that have no buying intent, words that we never want to show up for, and I'll show you how you can go in and edit that. And then we have the branded keyword list, which is made up of your brand name, product types, product names that you carry, right, with the brand in front of it. This will spend more because of warmer traffic, higher bids, and a different priority. We want this list to really be what gets us the gold mine, right? Final messages. This is a funnel-based system designed only for your Google Shopping ads. This system, I haven't tried it for search ads. I haven't tried it for any sort of Performance Max ads. This is only Google Shopping. The branded campaign will spend more. Our bids are higher than the generic campaign, and we want to avoid having any sort of generic searches come up in the branded campaign. We don't want to be spending $2, $3 a click on words like cheap, used, like something that's totally not correlated to what we're trying to sell. We want to save that money for the quality branded searches. Branded searches is middle of the funnel and bottom of the funnel, which is warm and hot traffic. We want to be spending our dollars here. Now, two things that make the strategy work: the high priority on the generic campaign and the medium priority on the branded campaign have to be set. If you follow the over-the-shoulder setup, you will be golden, okay? But this is utterly important, and the debris keyword list has to apply to both the campaigns. It has to apply to the generic and to the branded, and then the branded keyword list only applies to the generic campaign, okay? Again, I'll show you how to do this in the next video. Here is your success checklist before you begin the over-the-shoulder setup. You want to make sure you have your merchant center set up with the guide provided. We can show you exactly how to set this up step by step. It can be a hassle for the most part, but if you're following the step-by-step guide, you'll be fine. You want to make sure you have your Google Ads account set up as well, which we also have a guide for. You You want to download the Simprosys Google Shopping app from the Shopify App Store. Don't even bother looking for anything else. This is the only app that you need. It's the best app, and it's $5 a month. It's super necessary because this keeps your products updated with Google Merchant Center, which means your ads for whatever pricing you have, whatever is in stock, whatever is not in stock. Without this, Google can't show your ads for the products listed in your store, which means this whole strategy just won't work. And now I want to go over, this is the bonus, how you can track Google Ads accurately and scale it faster. I'll show you how to do this specifically, but as you can see in this example, we helped one of our clients achieve an extra $35,500 through just 2 campaigns, which resulted in a 46 ROAS and a 12 ROAS just simply from the past month. And this is from today, right? It's October 19th, 2022 today for me. And this is when this screenshot was taken. I'll explain more about what this ads manager is shortly, but as you can see, $35,500 we were able to help this client achieve, really just from Google Ads. So hope you enjoyed this short presentation. I hope you're primed and ready to jump into the over-the-shoulder setup. See you there.